Hey everyone, Vintage Fan Collector here, and today we have a fan I've been needing to film for a long time. This is one of my mini Victorians, this one being from 1990. I got this in the big Zachary trade of 2015, or 16, no it was 15 I think, oh wait, actually it's right, 2016. I got this with a halogen star, also from 1990. A San Marino from 1990, an antique brass Victorian, and a baby original. Also, I got a gray Panama from 1990, and I sold that to Alan. So, I kind of regret that now, but oh well, it is what it is. I've been wanting to film this for a while, I just never got around to it, and Chance wanted to throw up a Victorian, so I was like, okay, there's one I haven't filmed. Now it did come with a antique white switch cap, but I cannot find it right now and I don't want to spend all night looking for it, so I just put a brass one on it. This one also came with Rosewood Blades. That's where my Rosewood Blades came from, is this. It looked weird, and if you actually go to the top of the Rosewood Blades, the faded side, you can see the Victorian pretzel arms on it. So for whatever reason, they decided that white and polished brass needed rosewood. I don't know why it looked weird, but I'm using proper Snow White blades on this now. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and do demo mode, and I will only do demo mode for the 4-blade configuration. 5-blade will just be general settings.
Wow.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
That's so awesome how they can do that.
Mm-hmm. All the special programs.
That speed 1?
Yeah.
3.
And then it stops to ramp the lights down halfway. For better viewing is what they advertise in the commercials.
Really?
Yeah. So you don't have to strain your eyes while you look at it. And watch it do its thing. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, shiny!
Fancy!
Yes.
Is it reverse?
Mm-hmm. That's what that sound dee-doo-dee-doo means.
Oh.
So I have seen these installed in bathrooms in my part of town.
Wow.
Because of my job, I get to see cool stuff like that all the time. So I've actually reinstalled one that we converted, or did some work to, back into the master bathroom. It was beautiful.
Oh, and then
And it looked just like this, but it had 5 blades, which this will have in the other part of the video. And of course I've also seen this in other places. Alright, and now for the general settings. Alright, starting with the light, of course.
Wow, I've never seen that with standard incandescent bulbs.
Really?
Yeah.
And the fan on speed 1 and forward. What a classic fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just really pretty. And I don't know why people dislike the white and polished brass finish combination. I personally love it, along with
I agree.
every other finish combination that goes with white and black and brown.
Oh, I love it so much.
Now I think probably brown and chrome would look weird, but I think it might even work, maybe.
I mean, it looks good on newer Casablancas, but
I've never had a brown and chrome.
Really?
It's not something that exists, but I'm just kind of giving a theoretical idea.
I mean, it looks good on some, like Delta 2s, let's say. But it does...
I don't know, brown and chrome would be kind of odd.
Yeah, I agree. It looks good on
But black and chrome and white and chrome, those are good.
Very, very good.
So there's the IntelliTouch low speed, and as you can see it's slower than 3-speed.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Most fans, if the BFR, which is what actually controls the speeds, is bad, or the bearings aren't that great, they will stall out on the speed. at this age.
And burn up the motor?
No, just straight up stall it out.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess if it's left on it, it will probably burn out the motor eventually. But it's kind of like driving a manual and missing the shift and then you stop.
Oh, that's not a gear.
And speed 2. But yeah, so my childhood Panamas, the one in my parents' room would actually stall out on 1, but mine would always work on 1. I always was fascinated by how slow it was. I think, truthfully, IntelliTouch is why I like fans. Because of how different and, for a baby, stimulative the sounds and the way that it works, how it is. Yeah. I think that's what brought me into fans, because that's what I grew up with.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to get some IntelliTouch fans.
I think if I didn't have an IntelliTouch fan, I don't know if I even like fans.
Well,
because I think that sparked it for me.
Because it's the time and effort put into the technology that is in them.
Yeah, but if I never had one, I don't think I would have noticed it. You know, because this system is something that all of my normal friends think is the best thing ever. It's so cool. Yeah. Of course, I show it off because I mean, why wouldn't you? First off, if you go to change the speed, they're going to ask, "What was that beeping noise?" Speed 3. So I like to show it off.
Yeah.
And I always like to. Yes, my fan is so sophisticated. It has a computer in it. You heard right, a computer. And they're like, well, look at my Poche fan. And I'm like, ha. Because I mean, even though I've seen a lot of middle class houses that have these, it wasn't as common in middle class homes here as pull chain versions are. So
yeah. I've seen a lot more pull chain Casablancas than I have IntelliTouch in those kind of houses.
Yeah, and there are other IntelliTouch fans in the kind of neighborhood I grew up in and so forth, and in that neighborhood, in fact, but it's definitely not as common as the pull chain, the Delta 2s and Zephyrs and so forth, Slumber Quiet Victorians and whatnot. Because once they got IntelliTouch, the price went up on these things due to the technology, for IntelliTouch only. But all my friends still think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, I would definitely like to get some IntelliTouch.
And they don't know about all that fan sync stuff either, but I think they'd think that's wild too. But I kind of explain how this is 1980s computer technology, which is infinitely cooler than any kind of, Bluetooth fan that you can think of. Well, those are still cool, but, it is way cooler to see.
Infrared.
Plus, the other thing is, this is one of the only fans that had that chirping kind of sound to indicate the speed and what it's doing. That's another thing that really, catches people by surprise whenever I show it off. They're like, whoa, that's weird, but cool. Yeah. And it's a satisfying, what I like about IntelliTouch is the beeps are not annoying.
They're not.
Homestead and MicroTouch, Homestar, MicroTouch, and all the other, fake knockoffs of this, they just sound horrible. And ComfortTouch, as cool of a system as it is, their beeps are terrible. I can't even imitate it, it's so terrible. But this is it's the perfect pitch and delivery from the piezo.
And the fact that it has different tones.
Yes, that helps. I mean, all the other fan companies I mentioned that tried to offer a replacement did the same thing, but Harris did not sound like this. It wasn't pleasant.
Or they just have the standard fire alarm beep.
Yeah. It's just, it's bad.
Yeah, I definitely want to get some more IntelliTouch in my collection. I need some. I don't even have any.
I would say probably half or more of my Casablancas are IntelliTouch. They're just kind of scattered about. And, that's just how it is.
I definitely want some. Preferably a Victorian.
In the future I might part with another one of my brass ones.
Really?
Maybe. I already parted with one. Alan's mom offered to buy it, and I was like, no, just keep it. That's the only fan that I guess is now formally mine that's still put up in his house from the original install when he moved here. Mm-hmm. And it's speed 6. Because initially I let him borrow a bunch of fans since at the time he didn't really have nearly as much cool stuff as he does now. Because look at how much his collection grew when he moved here.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, I know that Miami has cool fans and all, but it doesn't compare to here.
Oh, not at all.
And so he didn't have much interesting stuff to install, so instead I lended him one of my white and brass Delta 2s, my white and brass Lady Delta, the Saturn, 87 Saturn, and a brass Victorian.
That's
brass
like
Victorian
fan I want to get. It's definitely a Saturn.
Yeah, I have two. Black and chrome and black and brass. Or excuse me, gunmetal, or what they called black chrome and polished brass. And black chrome and chrome. I mean, I guess, yeah, it is black chrome, but most people just call it gunmetal. And it does have a bit of a wobble due to the blades. I think these are from one of my Cascades. I just pulled them out of the blade stack and threw them on here. My other spare white, high gloss white blades are at my storage unit, so. And here's the fan off. But it's been a bit since I've done an IntelliTouch demonstration. I would say it's been over a year since I've thrown up any IntelliTouch fan on any test mount, and this is the first IntelliTouch fan on this one.
Yeah.
It's nice to play around with IntelliTouch again. I do miss it. You know, I have it in my living room, but, you know. That's the other thing. I kind of wish I could do IntelliTouch in my room. I can't do the way that the room is wired.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
one of the outlets is on the light switch that controls the light in my room, and I guess it's not a big deal if I don't use the outlet, which I don't. I just don't want to really risk it.
Because would it mess it up?
It could. It may not, but I just don't want to deal with that. So instead I'm just going to do a premium with a remote.
Yeah.
Plus it's cool to do something different. I mean, I've had Casablancas in my room for like 5 or 6 years now. I did have stuff in my room that wasn't Casablanca before that. Like the Olympia. I think that's actually the only non-Casablanca fan I've had in my room ever. Now that I think about it.
Homestead?
Nope. Never had a Homestead until now. Yeah. I would say the Olympia, I think, is the only one that I've ever put in my room besides a Casablanca.
Wow.
Ever. I mean, since this is kind of the fan brand that brought me into fans anyway, I definitely prefer it to everything else, but I like the uplight feature on the Emerson for sure. I want to do Philips Hue in that. I just was thinking, I was like, yeah, I really like the whole mood lighting thing a lot more than I used to, and I definitely think that would be beneficial, so
Yeah.
I'll go for it. And it performs similar. The K55XL, it does not move as much air or go as fast as this, but it's fine. It'll do. I could even handle having just a decorative in my room, which is not Casablanca air movement, but it's fairly close.
The red one?
Yeah, or my black one I have, and I also have white and polished brass, and a chrome. I have a chrome, I forgot.
Wow.
I need to test that. Alright, and now the 5-blade configuration will follow. I apologize, this video is a bit longer than normal, but it is IntelliTouch, so that's expected. Alrighty, 5-blade time, and it's raining outside, if you'll listen.
And we're back. With rain.
Yes. Okay. Now,
Very exquisite example.
there's speed numero uno, right there.
Speed number 1.
The fitness gram pacer test is the most.
Down.
Up. Stop. If you hear the ping, this is when you go.
It was the most 90s like.
Oh, good vibes from that. Actually, no, that was torture.
I
hated the pacer test days.
I had a buddy that made it to level 200.
I did pretty good in
And
the
he was
push-ups.
just full sprinting circles.
Oh
It
my
was so
gosh.
quick. Like full on
I
sprint.
don't think we had anybody that could do that.
My record was like 85.
But I got 100 sit-ups or something like that, I think. That way, age whatever.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
It is really raining outside. It's pouring. Yay.
This is going to be fun getting the Delta 2 out of my truck.
You could always leave it in there until
Inside.
later. That's what I typically do when it's raining, is I just leave.
It'll be fine in there. It's on the blanket.
Yeah, I leave said fan in the car until it's not raining.
I'll probably do that. I'll probably take it to work and even tomorrow.
Yeah, I forget. I sometimes also just forget to take stuff out of my car, so it kind of rides along with me for a bit. The Form 400 is probably going to be riding along with me for the better part of the week now, since I haven't taken it out of the car yet, and now it's raining. Mint.
Decent.
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 Greasy. All right.
Oh. Julian.
Julian. Where did you put my kitties?
I like that speed. That's a good aesthetic speed.
Yeah, it says the typical low is 2 or 3. That's probably about 3 speed low right there.
Does it range on different IntelliTouch boards?
Not really. I mean, I guess by age, yes, but when they were new, no. By age, they all go different speed. Yeah, because the way that the speeds are controlled is a biflow resistor, which is it's this orange band that wraps around the actual motor, and within it is all the circuitry for.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, it allows the different speeds to be tapped into instead of using a capacitor for everything. Each little resistor, or really long resistor inside there, is a different length and different resistance value.
Oh.
That's how it controls the speeds. Now, there are capacitors on this board, and that is for starting and running, so the high speed is controlled by the capacitor on there. Everything lower than that is not. So that's why a lot of times when an IntelliTouch board is having problems, it might only work on high. Usually the BFR is the problem.
Can you fully surgically rebuild the boards, like with soldering and everything?
Yes,
parts?
you can, and people have done it. There is somebody on YouTube who has actually explained that they've done it, and I'm about to start doing that now that I have a soldering gun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I know. It'll be interesting. We have so many. We collect all the bad boards, and we
Part them out?
and inspect them and figure out why they died and stuff like that.
Can you test the board outside of the fan?
Well, continuity, yes, but that's it. You can't really have it control anything unless it's the fan.
Could you connect it to a motor and then run the motor from it?
It would have to be a XLP or something, yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that. We do that.
Like an external motor?
Yeah. We have test motors for that, actually. But the BFR is replaceable. I mean, you can take it off, and originally they're stuck to the motor with adhesive, but they also screw in on both sides of the board. They meet where the board is, and you can just fasten them with the board, and you don't need to use the adhesive, so you can replace them.
Oh, wow.
And that typically solves about 50% of IntelliTouch issues. It's just the BFR.
Ah, okay.
The other issues are the resistors not being big enough on the other part of the board that have nothing to do with the speeds. They need to be like 2 times as big as they are. Those are what get killed by power surges, because as awesome as IntelliTouch is, there is a flaw that is pretty significant. It can't handle
a surge protector. Like
yeah, you did. It can't handle any voltage above 125. After that, it kind of gets killed.
Fried.
Yeah.
Magic smoke.
And they were able to fix it. They just chose not to, because unfortunately that is one of those things where they make so much money off of it. There's no reason to do that, because financially it makes more sense from a big company perspective to do that.
Supply over quality.
I mean, they still have high quality overall, but definitely that was the weak point of the IntelliTouch. So essentially, you don't want to have an IntelliTouch if your power grid sucks, which over half the nation's power grid is trash.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
Is that high?
Yeah. Our power grid does not fluctuate like some of the Northeast does. So a lot of the IntelliTouch fans here get killed due to like lightning strikes and people hitting the power pole instead of just natural voltage fluctuation. Although there are some areas where
causes it to peak.
Yeah, where there are some areas where the power equipment isn't as good as others, though. So
I mean, to prevent that, like I said, could you put a surge protector?
There is likely a way, yes, to actually put it in line, but you have to do some rewiring to get that to work.
Yeah.
Now the ComfortTouch boards are actually pretty much unkillable, although Jared found a way to kill it.
How?
Good times. The Constellation I have right now used to be his. And it came with one of those annoying pan light kits. The glass screws in, it's like low profile.
Yeah.
He didn't wire up that light kit while it was mounted there, but he didn't cap the wires off in the light kit. And for whatever reason, he decided to tap the light button on the remote, which shot power to the exposed touching metal light kit wires, which just shorted out everything. Killed arc. He was filming a video and he just went click, boom, and it just popped and it's gone. So Jared has managed to kill an otherwise unkillable board.
Wow.
Because like anything electrical, electronic, shorting out, it will kill it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, shorting out can kill anything.
Oh, yeah.
So, otherwise, they have an actual surge protector like you were talking about built in to the board.
Wow.
And the designer of the ComfortTouch board came up to Casablanca and asked if he could implement it on the IntelliTouch, and they said no.
Wow.
Because they're making money off the replacements. That's what they were doing, and they wanted that.
I bet he was upset about that.
He was not happy, yes. But it was close. If they would have said yes, IntelliTouch, RMM IntelliTouch would have been extremely reliable. Now, IntelliTouch 3 already has that on it as well.
Why didn't they do that on 2 and 1?
Well, IntelliTouch 2 is just IntelliTouch 1, but with a different switch. Anyway, IntelliTouch, the original, of course, they, like I said, made more money off of the board replacements. Ooh, it's really picking up outside.
Yeah.
Rain, rain, go away. Actually, no, I like the rain. It'll wash all that nasty, stupid salt and sand and snow off the roads, because it hasn't really rained too much since it snowed. But yeah, so ComfortTouch has that, and I believe AdvanTouch also has the surge protector on it, but IntelliTouch just never did. So IntelliTouch was pretty much, when ComfortTouch and everything was available, their base smart fan of the time. Every single model and finish was available in IntelliTouch, but ComfortTouch was selective on what they offered it in. Not everything came in ComfortTouch. The Victorian never came in ComfortTouch, for example. And I believe the San Marino was another fan that did not. And the California Zephyr.
Really?
But the Saturn came in it only as the California Gold. But the regular Saturn was IntelliTouch only. So I mean, it was just selective, and IntelliTouch had everything.
Ah.
And the reason I'm talking about this, viewers, is because Chance is new to all this Casablanca tomfoolery. So,
well, yeah,
I'm kind of, I'm doing this video, teaching him more about the brand.
I'm more of a hunter.
That's what he grew up with, yeah.
I grew up around hunters and older products. Mostly hunter originals and some R&M mostly.
Yeah.
That's why I have.
I mean, I grew up around a ton of those too. That's part of the reason I don't collect them so much, is because I see them everywhere. It's like, to me, they are kind of like a Farmington. They're just everywhere. Yeah, and it's true, they are. And so are Delta 2s. I see them a lot, but they have a sentimental value to me, as do originals. So I collect the childhood configurations for originals, and anything extremely interesting I will pick up.
That's also why I'm more into, well, I'm a portable fan collector, as you'll see on my channel.
Yep.
But I do ceiling fans, and I have a couple Casablancas myself. I just got one today.
I'm getting more into it. I'm corrupting him. So,
no, and I want
Alan is too, but I'm corrupting him more.
That's the thing.
I have supported the whole thing by selling him a fan. But yeah, so that's enough tomfoolery for the night. Since it's getting late, both him and I have to work tomorrow, and it's also raining. I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning up shop, and this will end tonight's ceiling fan testing extravaganza.
Yes, sir.
So, would have got more into the day if I didn't not know where my camera stuff was until midday. Actually, more like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I was about
is when
to say,
I
like,
found it.
5:36. So
5 is when I found it, and then I had to let him charge a little bit before I threw him out. But yeah, it was fun to finally get back into testing fans. This isn't the first fan. These aren't the first fans I put up. I put up that red decorative, and I filmed a video on my phone where it's doing that shaky thing.
yeah.
And it didn't also only has 1 speed. And my dad trying to shoo us out of the garage because he wanted to park his precious truck in for the night.
His precious Tundra.
Must be parked before nighttime, I guess. Whatever. But anyway, so that's why I didn't really do much. So I'll just film a decorative when I actually have it fixed. But anyway, that's it for tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed, and thank you for watching. And again, shout out to Chance. Y'all go check out his channel. It's totally worth it, especially as he's getting more cool fans as time goes on. So
That Texan Collector on YouTube.
go ahead and hop on over there. Goodbye, y'all.